The Marine veteran seen on video placing Jordan Neely, a homeless man, in a chokehold on the New York City subway, is free on bond.
The Manhattan District Attorney's Office is charging Penny with second-degree manslaughter. Penny surrendered to New York City police this morning. He was formally arrested and processed before his arraignment. He walked out of court just after 12 p.m. Eastern after he was released on bond. No word yet on a trial date.
Video from earlier this month showed the encounter. Penny is seen holding Neely around his neck for several minutes on the floor of a subway car until the man lost consciousness. Penny's lawyer says his client was trying to protect other passengers. The legal team for the Neely family spoke with reporters this morning. They said they hoped for more serious charges.
When I talked to the DA, I suggested murder 2. They suggested manslaughter 2. The consequences of manslaughter 2 is 5 to 15 years. Ask yourself, is that enough? Is that enough for someone who choked somebody out on the train and took their life?
CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano joins us now. Lilia, describe what happened today in court for us.
Well, today we got here early in the morning. We didn't have much of an idea of when this was all going to happen, but as soon as we heard it would happen at noon, it was pretty punctual. We saw Daniel Penny entering the courtroom. He was in handcuffs. The whole proceeding went by pretty quickly. We heard the charges, which are second-degree manslaughter. We heard that the prosecution described some of what happened, including in something that they highlighted, which kind of gives you a hint at why the investigation led to these charges, was that besides the other 2 people who were holding Jordan Neely down, that Daniel Penny continued holding Jordan Neely in a chokehold even after he had stopped moving. So after that description, we also heard from the defense, who talked about his military achievements. They said that he had been honorably discharged. They went over a list of medals that he had received during his time as a Marine, and both sides agreed on this $100 bail. So he was removed from his handcuffs, released, and he walked out of this courthouse. The next time he's going to be, we're going to see him in court. He also has to surrender his passport within 48 hours. He signed a waiver of an execution, of an extradition, waiver of extradition. Next time we'll see him will be on July 17th, when he's set to come after a grand jury hands up an indictment.
Well, Penny's lawyers have maintained their client acted heroically, and in a statement yesterday, they said in part, quote, he risked his own life and safety for the good of his fellow passengers. What do you make of his legal team's actions so far?
Well, what we know is that, one of the strongest parts of what could be his defense is the idea of self-defense. We talked to Ricky Kleeman last night, and I was just asking her, what are the differences between the different charges that he could have faced? The first, or the most severe, would have been something like murder. It's impossible or really hard to prove. This is something that even activists agree on. The next charge would have been something like first-degree manslaughter. In that kind of case, you would have to prove, the prosecution would have to prove, that there is intent, that Daniel Penny was trying intentionally to kill Jordan Neely. From the video evidence, it seems like attorneys and prosecutors themselves realized, look, this is not going to be something that will be easy to prove. The next charge, which is what he was charged with, is second-degree manslaughter. What that shows is that there was recklessness. They would have to prove that Penny was reckless in his handling of Jordan Neely, basically that knowing that he could have died, even though he didn't intend for him to die, that this could have been an outcome. This is something that they would have to prove. So in terms of the defense, what we can make out of this moment is that certainly he, from his defense team, is that he might have been concerned about his safety or the safety of others, and then use a self-defense, defense, in arguing that it wasn't recklessness, but that there was a real concern for his or the safety of other passengers. We have not heard from any of the witnesses or any of the testimony, from the arguments from the prosecution yet, that Jordan Neely might have physically attacked anybody, but we did hear in court today that witnesses said that he was threatening. What those threats constituted, we'll learn more as this case moves forward and as it gets to an eventual trial.
All right, Lilia Luciano outside court for us, breaking all of these latest developments down. Thank you so much.